Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today for your daily tarot reading. I always ask you to choose the stone that draws you today, the one that sort of matches with your intuition that resonates with you. And we begin. There's no reason you can't choose more than one stone. You can choose one stone for you, one stone for another person. For those of you who chose this green stone, we have the Moon, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Five of Cups. All right. Well, the Moon is your major arcana, and it is a good one. So the Moon is your intuition. It is strengthened. It is strengthened for a reason, though. This may be a day where you've been regretting something or looking back at a disappointment, or there's some disappointment. It can be minor, but it can also be something that happened in the past and tends to come into your thoughts. Now, the Five of Cups always cautions us to be careful not to look so much at that we don't see the two cups that are standing, the sources of positive emotion, the sources of hope, the two cups that are ascending. So sometimes it is called the don't cry over spilt milk card. So I think it is important to turn around. What's hard is sometimes it's only our intuition that is giving us this positive message that things are going to get better, or there's something nice coming, or, sometimes it's only our intuition that can remind us of all the blessings that we do have. And sometimes this may be a day where that's what you need to go with, because it is strengthened, and that's what you need to trust. Some days I feel like those days stretch us to become more independent in a way, emotionally, to grow in our ability to be all right, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of whether or not we've had a disappointment. And like I said, this can be a minor disappointment. But intuition and our connection to the divine helps us to be a lot more, just content and peaceful in any circumstance. And Spirit may be really helping you with that today. And we have the Knight of Swords. That can be somebody in your environment, or that can be an argument, that can be a disagreement. That can just be someone in your environment who seems to like to be right. Whether it's in your immediate environment or it's something you're hearing, it can also be something you're hearing on the news or through media. It can be something like that. But I feel like there's something that wants you to focus on the negative today, and guess what? You don't need to, because you have got some strength here. You've got some spiritual strength here. You have got definitely the ability to pick your way down the right path to success, to freedom. You have got the right, you know which way to go in your intuition. You may not have a lot of steps in the future all planned out, but you know the next one. And so there is a trusting of your intuition here. When we think back, if you really think about times when your intuition told you something and you listened to it, and how you were saved from this or that trouble. And if there were times you didn't listen to your intuition, times that Spirit then brought that to your attention to help you to trust your intuition more, to grow and to learn that you can trust your gut instinct. But there's a lot of strength here. And if there's someone in your environment like this, that's okay. You don't have to listen to them, whatever. They don't have anything to say to you that's valuable. Because the Knight of Swords is not mature, this is, they're talking out of an incomplete understanding. Swords are intellect, swords are understanding. They're talking to you out of an incomplete understanding of a situation, and maybe they're even a bit obsessed about their plan and their way of looking at something, and that's that, you know. And so you don't even need to get worried about that, and you certainly don't need to dwell on any thoughts that are coming from your own mind about regrets or disappointments, because look at what you have built. You've built up this strong, strengthened intuition, and when intuition is guiding us, we can go in wonderful directions. We really can. For some of you, you also have a pet that is supporting you, comforting you on your journey with you, and that's what these dogs are there for. They help you. They help you to know what's right for you because they love you. And sometimes you take cues from them. So this really is a good message in this reading. All right. For those of you who chose the black and white stone, we have the Hermit, we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Two of Coins. All right, so the Hermit has a message for you. This can be somebody from the other side, a loved one who's passed on, somebody you know who has passed on, and they have got a good message for you. Aw, it's just really a loving message, isn't it? It's a complimentary message. It's the Two of Coins is saying, boy, you balance things well. You are capable. You are keeping all the plates spinning. You're juggling. You're juggling your sources of security and making it look easy, though they know it's not, you know. And the Queen of Cups is also another compliment. It's like, well, this can be for you, that you have matured, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. Gender is interchangeable, but that you have matured to this place of emotional insight, emotional self-control, and warmth for others, compassion, and you've matured to that place. Because I felt led to say this with the Hermit, that's for some of you, this is someone from the other side. This can be someone you love on the other side too, you know, wanting to bring you a comforting, loving, nurturing kind of message, maybe support, maybe validation. So this is wonderful. Whether this is someone you know on the other side, or whether this is simply a connection to your higher self or source or the divine, what you're getting today in your intuition, in your journaling, in your meditation, sometimes it's just even, if you're busy, sometimes it's just even checking in with yourself throughout the day. I've learned to do this. I ask Spirit a question, I ask myself a question. Should I do this or this? Should I do this or this? It's become almost automatic for me now. Over time, to ask Spirit to help guide me through my day. And when I'm more aware and I ask and I check in more, at the end of the day, I can look back and I'm always amazed at how well something went. You know, how things just clicked. And it's always wonderful to realize we're just never alone in this. We may feel like we are, but oh, we are not. The challenge of this lifetime, I think, is dealing with the limits of our physical being, but then also learning to enjoy this physical lifetime. But being able to see spiritually and know that we're not alone. So there's wonderful messages in this reading, wonderful cards. Oh, and I hope you have a terrific day with lots of neat coincidences, shall we say, that actually are Spirit leading you. For those of you who chose the brown stone, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Swords. So these are all good cards. The Six of Swords suggests that you may have been through something difficult, where you learned some difficult realities in the past, and you're thinking about it now, or more recently. Now, these are all minor arcana, so it doesn't even need to be anything major. It can just be, you know, the struggles of everyday life. You know, some things that you have learned about as you've gathered information that will certainly create a better future for you that will certainly bring you into calmer waters and onto more hospitable shores where you can use that information. But it might have been, and this is a gradual kind of card, so it might have been challenging lately. But look at this. We have this Knight of Cups. And so that's sometimes a good message coming to you, a welcome message. Sometimes it's a suitor or an admirer. Somebody wanting to make a good impression on you. But with this Queen of Swords, man, you're going to be able to see the truth of that. Look at all this, these swords, these truths, these insights, these just information, intellectual sharpness. So this Knight of Cups can once in a while, want to make a good impression so much that he doesn't tell you the whole thing. He may not be entirely mature, or she. So the Queen of Swords would know exactly what the truth was. The Queen of Swords would take that for what it is and take the positive, but then say, okay, but I know truth. I'm very logical. I'm intellectually smart. I've got a plan, and I stick to it. I stick to my own judgment, that kind of thing. So if you've been through some more difficult things lately, boy, you've learned a lot from them, and you tend to, because look at this mature intellect. And there's something good coming in, which you can see it for exactly what it is. You can see the positives about it. You can also be realistic. You make it part of your plan, whatever it is that is brought. So these are great cards. They're sort of like things are getting better. And you tend to take all information that comes to you and enhance your planning ability for a better future. All right. For those of you who chose this orange stone, this orange and black stone, we have the Tower, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Four of Cups. All right, so the Tower, well, it's hard to say. The Tower can be something specific that's happening lately, or it can be like a Tower time in your life where a lot of things are changing. The Tower brings in opportunity to get unstuck, to re-examine things in our lives and think about how we want to do the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. It gives us an opportunity to reflect on that, which is, emotionally, is this emotionally satisfying for me? Is it not? How do I really feel about these things? This Four of Cups man, he is not so satisfied. He is sort of looking at, and cups are emotions, so he's sort of looking at messages he's had or things that life has offered him and saying, not entirely satisfied, and maybe there's something new coming in. Maybe he has to ponder for a while to kind of think about what is it how do I want my life to be? Now, the Three of Wands is a hopeful card. It's saying, guess what? My life will be better. I am waiting for my ship to come in. I have invested time and effort. I feel like these cards are, somebody in the middle of figuring some things out, gaining some clarity, working toward a more life-giving, see, wands are life, and emotionally satisfying future. So the Tower, so something may have happened that you're still sorting out, and you are taking the opportunity to really think about what it is you want in the future, what you're watching and waiting for, and to think more about how to build a more emotionally fulfilling lifestyle. And as I say that, I feel like some of you might be, oh man, I just want to get through this, whatever it is, and it can be the pandemic. It can be changes related to that. Some of you may just be at the point where, hey, I just want to get through this, I'm hoping things will be okay. I'm watching and waiting. I've invested some effort. I hope things will be all right. Well, you know what? they will. They really will. Because that 3 is good effort, and there is the promise of it paying off with that 3 of Wands. It doesn't feel stable yet. 3s don't feel stable. They're building energy. But it is very promising. And we have the 4 of Cups. Sometimes, too, that is Spirit wanting to give you a message that is emotionally comforting. It can be the Ace of Cups. It can be Spirit wanting to improve your emotions or help you in an emotional time. Sometimes it really is comfort, it's hope. So these 2 cards to me can be quite hopeful cards and quite reassuring. The Tower moments, they come in our lives, and what they are, I mean, a lot of times they're not welcome at all, but they kind of shake things up enough that we look at them anew. We can all kind of look in our past and remember Tower moments that we're actually now glad for, because, oh, that is when I dug in deeper. I grew spiritually. I looked at things with new eyes and made some changes. So this to me looks like a hopeful reading. All right. Well, I thank you all so very, very much. I thank my subscribers, all those who make these lovely comments, and I thank you all. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.